What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you to the May 2025 edition of Let's Talk. And welcome to another very short, very succinct update. I don't have a lot to go over this month once again. I'm still just trying to catch up on everything that I've been behind on, as well as get ahead on certain other projects. This Let's Talk is just going to be about the current stuff as well as the new project starting this month. That's really it. I don't have any grand announcements to make, although I should briefly bring up one thing that I have in the works right now. I have no idea when this is going to get done, but it is something that I have been trying to put together, so I guess stay tuned for it. I also think that with the release of the Nintendo Switch 2 around the corner, as well as Summer Games Fest and, things that are usually very industry shifting, I don't want to get too committal with too many things right now, so I'm just gonna try to avoid anything like that for the time being. For right now, though, really quickly, I am working on what I'm hoping is going to be a very interactive, checklist of sorts that I would like for you guys to be able to have. This is going to just be a way of keeping track of all of the projects that I still have planned for this channel, some of the stuff that I consider obligations, which are usually Let's Plays pertaining to the ones that I've already covered. We're talking like sequels or additional ones in the same series, as well as other ones that I have promised in the past. Then I have another list of games that I have been meaning to cover at some point or would be nice surprises. And at risk of spoiling those surprises, I have not wanted to immediately bring them up, but I'd still like to have them cataloged in some way, just because I think it's better for people to know what to expect than it is for me to catch people off guard with a certain game, especially because I have no way of knowing if anybody's even going to be really all that excited for it. So I'm going to have those there, but I also want to do this not just so you guys have something to keep track of, but also because I want input. I want to have a thing put together where you guys can actually make suggestions, or you can look at something and say, hey, I want you to get to this as quickly as possible, and try to nudge me along, and then maybe I'll move it around in the schedule. Maybe I'll consider getting to that a little bit sooner. I don't know. We will see. Obviously, just because of the nature of the Let's Plays that I do and the way I release things, I only can get to things so quickly. I have to finish all of my current projects to get to a new project, and if I don't do that, well, it takes time, unfortunately, and especially lately where a lot of the projects I've been doing have been very long-winded, it feels like things take forever. So, I don't know. Well, I just want to leave that out there as an option. I still don't know how I'm going to even be doing this, but I just want to have something organized. It honestly might just end up being one giant spreadsheet that I'm going to end up sharing, and then maybe put like an input form on there somewhere where you guys can be like, hey, do this, or possibly even something like a constant rotating straw poll that I can post every once in a while that has a number of those games on there, so I can just sort of gauge interest. Something along those lines. Again, I don't know how I'm going to do this exactly. I just know it's something I've been working on, something I'm trying to put together, and it is something that I'll probably give you guys a nice overview of once it's actually done here, hopefully before the end of the year. That's really all it is. It's not anything super crazy. It's just something that I kind of have in the works at the moment and wanted to mention that before we move on to the other stuff, the fundamental stuff. And with that, let's get on into the current series as well as the two new series that are going to be starting this month, because there is a little bit of changeover. Let's get Destiny out of the way. It is the main Let's Play on the channel after all. I do want to clarify a little bit of a technical mistake that I made on actually both last month's schedule and this month's schedule, because last month, on the last two uploads of the month, I put a graphic for Destiny 2 Season of the Risen up, thinking that that was going to be when that portion of the Let's Play started. That was not technically true. Season of the Risen actually starts today, the day you're getting this Let's Talk, and that was we were still in the Witch Queen expansion last week. For those, I missed my upload dates by a little bit. I kind of got off on my my scheduling and didn't realize exactly when things are going to be starting. And then this month's schedule is also technically accurate, I say after having already posted it, because the Season of the Risen content is only going to last for 6 episodes. So this week and next week and the week after that, and that's it. So on the last week of May, we're going to have already moved on into the next season, which is Season of the Haunted. Again, it's all a technicality. It's not like a super big deal, but I know if anybody's actually looking, they're probably going to notice that, so I wanted to just bring that up here that I am aware. I made that mistake. That was just me being lazy, and I'm not really going to be beating myself over the head too much. I just didn't realize how short Season of the Risen was until I went back and looked at it, and I was like, oh, wow, it really only is 6 episodes. It's an incredibly small season, and it is also not going to be indicative of how future seasons are going to go. I also do want to bring up that Destiny is about to hit the 300 episode milestone. In fact, that's going to be on Wednesday, which is just insane to think about that any Let's Play could last that long. Remember that I started that thing all the way back in summer of 2016, and it is still going strong. I mean, I know there have been breaks in the middle, but wow, there has been so much to cover in this game, and I still didn't cover a lot of stuff in the game, a lot of seasonal content. I ended up just paraphrasing them into singular videos. I mean, that's a potential of, over 100 episodes that just never ended up happening across those 3 years of seasons. So I'm not too upset about the fact that I missed all of that. There is a couple of seasons in there that I kind of wish I had been able to showcase at some point because they were a lot more interesting than some of the others. I'm thinking particularly like Season of the Chosen, Season of the Lost. Those ones were very, very good. Pretty much everything that came after Beyond Light was particularly interesting, but oh well, not beating myself up too about it, and I can't really change the forces of nature nor get Bungie to unvault all of that content because, well, as it turns out, nobody can get them to unvault it all because they are literally being sued over it right now, and even in that instance, they can't unvault their own content, which I think is hilarious. I'm pretty sure they've actually just gone ahead and deleted it without actually specifically saying that because players can use that as ammunition against them. Regardless, 300 episodes, that's crazy. It's definitely going to get to 400 before this Let's Play is said and done. 500 I'm a little less sure about, but I can promise you we're going to get past 400 episodes before we're all done. I know that I'm at over 400 episodes just with the stuff I've recorded, and I haven't even gotten to the Final Shape expansion yet with my recording. In fact, that's probably going to be something I end up working on next month, or at the soonest, the very end of this month. Now, that 300th episode, it's not going to be anything special. I don't usually plan episode numbers accordingly in that way because I never know which episode is going to be which number in the series. So, I mean, except for maybe like the first few. After that, I totally lose track. And yeah, in fact, it's probably going to be one of the least interesting episodes in the entire Let's Play now that I think about it. Oops. 301, though. That's actually a good one. Anyway. That's enough of Destiny. We'll move on from that. I'm rambling too much. Let's move on to Pokemon next. And Pokemon Platinum, the finale goes up tomorrow, actually, beating Cynthia, the champion of the Sinnoh League. It is not the end of the Let's Play, though, as I have said multiple times, and I'm just going to clarify that one more time. It is not the end of the Let's Play. It is just going on break. We are going to get back to the post-game after Pokemon Black and White 2. It's just that this month is the 2-year anniversary of the beginning of my Pokemon Black and White 1 Let's Play. And, well, if you know about the canon of the Unova Pokemon games, it's just too good of an opportunity to pass up. So I really wanted to get Pokemon Black and White 2 going as soon as possible, and what better way to do that than at the technical ending of Pokemon Platinum? We'll get into the post-game once Black and White 2 is over and done with, but that won't be for a very long time because Pokemon Black and White 2 is a long game. Holy crap. In fact, it might be the most involved, the most content-rich, and the longest game in the entire series prior to the Switch Pokemon games. So I've got a lot to cover in this one, and we're going to be going straight through the end of the game into the post-game with that one, just doing the entire thing. I'm personally about 70% done with the Let's Play in terms of all of the work that I'm putting into it, all of the editing, all of the graphics, as well as the actual recording of the Let's Play. So not the greatest spot to be in, like the week before it comes out, but it'll be ready in time. Don't you worry. I just like to make sure that I have everything 100% done before I even get started on that first episode. It's just a lot easier for me, particularly with Pokemon games, to know that I have everything done and I don't have to scramble to get stuff fixed in the middle of it. Really, with any Let's Play, that can be the case, but obviously I don't always have that luxury, especially when I fall behind on certain things, or if that Let's Play is designed like Animal Crossing New Horizons. And speaking of, let's get into that one really quickly. So, Animal Crossing New Horizons, as I've said multiple times, this Let's Play is a full year in-game, and the first third of this Let's Play was done in a very condensed span of time. So we didn't really move along in terms of that, the space of that whole year very quickly in those first several episodes. Things have started to speed up and jump a bit more in later episodes, and from here on out, it's going to be about 4 to 5 episodes per month going all the way through to the end. That ending is going to be the first week of June, and the New Year episode is currently scheduled for the first week of our June. So that means after that episode goes up, I've got somewhere in the ballpark of 25 to 35 episodes left in this Let's Play. And that sounds like a lot, and it kind of is. But I will also say this. the episodes are getting shorter. They are now down to about 25 to 30 minutes each. They are much more laid back. They are much more chill. There are some episodes that go a little beyond that, depending on the things that I'm actually accomplishing in those episodes, but we're now just kind of coasting onto to the end. This is going to be, honestly, more like how any other Animal Crossing Let's Plays that I will do if I ever cover any of the previous games, because all of the progression stuff, all of the stuff unique to New Horizons, most of that's done now. I don't really have a ton of that left to do. Now it's more just decorating the island, decorating my house, catching all of the critters in the Critterpedia, and just making sure that I have all of the things that I need for the museum, and improving my relationships with my villagers, and just all of the generic evergreen stuff that you see in every single Animal Crossing game. So it's going to be a lot more chill here on out, not to worry. It's just going to be kind of one of those things where I honestly wouldn't be surprised if people just kind of pop in from time to time to see how things are going, because you're not going to be missing a crazy amount of progression outside of maybe me just catching some super rare fish or finding a new painting from Red, and, just a lot of the very simple things, maybe hitting a big milestone with one of our villagers, but that's it. That's all that there really is left to look forward to as we just kind of make it through the rest of this year in-game. And, I'm having a good time with it. It's really nice. It's actually a great departure from the other things that I'm working on, and I just don't have really any pressure with the series anymore, which is funny because when it started, it was by far the most taxing, most intensive series that I've ever done, but it does kind of renew my confidence and renew my desire to eventually go and let's play some of the other Animal Crossing games somewhere down the line and not have to worry as much about making them as involved as this New Horizon Let's Play was. All right. Super Mario Galaxy, that is also ending this month on Friday the 23rd. Not only is the finale going up that day, but also a bonus episode. You'll see what that bonus episode is when it comes out. And the following week is going to be the start of a very short series, one that I have been trying to get done for a very long time. I'm hoping to actively start working on it as soon as I'm done with Pokemon Black and White 2. It's going to be a short Let's Play, but I don't know how much or how in-depth I'm going to make it. This is just something that's been a very long time coming, because back in 2012, one of my favorite Let's Plays that I ever did was a Let's Play of That Game Company's Journey. Now, most of That Game Company has moved on to a new studio called Giant Squid, or at least a lot of the art department has. I don't know as much about all of the game developers, but the art direction's kind of a big reason as to why those games are so successful. Anyway, That Game Company is now managing Sky, which is a live service game, and Giant Squid, they're out here actually making these single-player indie experiences, and the very first game they ever made was basically Journey in the Water, which is a game called Abzu, and I've been wanting to cover that for a super long time. But for anyone who knows anything about it, it's a very short game. So, and in fact, I would be surprised if that game even makes it through June. It's probably only going to be 4, maybe 5 episodes at most. It's a quick one. And honestly, I need to start doing more Let's Plays like this down the road. And in fact, that's my plan, is to get a lot more games like that recorded throughout the summer. But I'll probably talk about that a little bit later. After Abzu, though, I have another Let's Play planned, which I won't talk about right now, but once that one is done, then we are going to move on to Super Mario Galaxy 2. Wanted to give us a bit of a break between Mario Galaxy games. And last but certainly not least is Fallout 4, the Institute Edition, which, as I said when it all started, it is a relatively short Let's Play, only a dozen episodes, and that is going to be coming to an end in June. And then we will be getting back to the Mario Party series with Mario Party 5, which I'm sure some people are looking forward to, and I am as well, because it is actually one of my favorite games in the entire series. And that pretty much covers everything I wanted to talk about. Like I said, not a crazy amount to go over this month. Very simple one. I'll let you all get back to your Clair Obscur Expedition 33s, your blueprints, and all of your excitement for the Nintendo Switch 2. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode very, very much, and I will see you all in the next one.